Even before the pandemic and us as worship leaders having to learn how to lead worship through quarantine, through so many different interesting ways, the art of cueing a worship lyric without being obnoxious has always been very difficult. So I want to talk to you about a few reasons why it's important, and then a few ways that we can actually do it that will be helpful. In all these ways, we're going to have to practice at home and even as we're planning our set. So why is it important? Well, certainly when we don't have lyrics up on the screen, or we're meeting in the park or the parking lot or small groups, we just don't having extra printouts and all those things. Sometimes that can be obnoxious. So as a worshiper, you're not in command or control. You haven't chose the songs, you haven't listened about it or thought about it, so you don't know what's happening, and you need to be led. Worship leading is about leading. It's not cheerleading, but it is leading. So we're helping people, giving them some lyrics so they can lead or they can sing with confidence. Here's a few ideas. Number one is to speak or pray the complete first song section before you start. I'll give you an example. So I'm just going to start playing the song. Beautifully made, by nature I've fallen. By grace I've been raised. You're calling me, I'm coming home. Beautifully made. By nature I've fallen. Right, so I've given them the whole section before we even start, so they can lodge it in their brain, and then we can move on. Now, I wouldn't do that for every song. It would just be a trick I would use for one song. Just speaking it, almost praying it, can be really helpful. Number two is to speak the cued lyric gracefully, right? So if I'm doing that song, beautifully made. Beautifully made, by nature I've fallen. By nature I've fallen. By grace I've been raised. By grace I've been raised. Now I'm not singing it, I'm saying it, but I'm saying it in the timbre and the vibe of the song. You know, it's not beautiful. Beautifully made. By nature I've fallen. By nature I've fallen. I'm just saying it with some art, with some musicality versus just commanding it, right? Practice that. Practice speaking the cue. And you wouldn't do it every time, right? But you are going to do it every once in a while. You're saying some words to help guide the people. So speak the cued lyric. Practice that. And then number three is to sing the cued lyric. So instead of speaking it, beautifully made, oh, beautifully made. By nature I fall. By nature I fall. By grace I've been saved. By grace I've been raised. Right, so I'm just artfully singing. I'm actually improvising those lines. Now, if that's something you're not great at, that'll take even more practice. But you could just sing one word. Beautifully made, beautifully made. By nature I fall. By nature I fall. Right, we're just kind of musically, it's good. And it's not obnoxious if you do it well and it's within the same vibe of the song. You know, if it's a fast song, never gives up. Runs out on me. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails and never gives up. Right, so that fits the song, that fits the vibe. Just make sure you fit the vibe when you sing the lyric. So a few final pro tips. You only have to alert or cue the unique feature of the song. So for instance, a lot of songs do this, you know, at your name, the mountains shake, the mountains shake and crumble. At your name, the oceans roar, the oceans roar and tumble. Angels will bow at your name. Angels will bow. The earth will rejoice. Your people cry out. So I'm just giving enough breadcrumbs to draw them in, to make them feel like, okay, I'm confident I can go with this guy or this band. And then just give little hints to guide the way as you're leading. So, because we're no longer strangers to your arms, we're no longer strangers to your arms. By grace you have saved, by grace you have saved us. We know. So sometimes it's just little things that are saying, hey, here's where the song's going, here's what we're doing. I hope that's really helpful for you. Practice all these things. Even when you're creating a set list, practice the cueing and leading people into the next section, that they would sing boldly, that they would not be tricked into where we're going as a band, but they would know exactly what's happening and be inspired and encouraged to sing along. Take care.